Hafe Guam. My name is Ethan.
I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jaden.
Our first responders are also our moms and dads.
Please keep us safe
by keeping them safe.
Stay home, Guam.
Again, we can't express enough gratitude to all of our frontline heroes, and thank you so much for keeping everyone safe. And now on to our top story. The CNMI is mourning its second COVID-19 related death. The CNMI governor's COVID-19 task force announcing right before news time that a 77-year-old female, a CNMI resident with underlying medical conditions, has passed away. The deceased individual was seen at the Saipan Hospital on March 28th. She was admitted to CHCC where she was closely monitored. Now, officials say contact tracing continues. Hospital CEO Esther Munya says that she's deeply saddened by the passing of a community member. She adds, "Let's take a moment to reflect and may our thoughts and prayers in this difficult time for the family. We must take courage and continue to play our part to fight this virus." There are 8 confirmed COVID-19 cases in the CNMI. Well, the Secretary of the Navy, Thomas Modly, was on Guam yesterday to meet with the crew and leaders of the USS Roosevelt. It was a lightning-fast trip that saw the Secretary directly addressing the beleaguered sailors. Our Nestor Lecanto has more in this report.
In a 15-minute address over the ship's intercom system, Modly sought to defend his actions in ousting Captain Brett Crozier. He referred several times to what he called Crozier's betrayal of trust for sharing a memo pleading for help, a memo that reached outside his chain of command that was eventually leaked to the media.
And that email went out to a broad audience of people. I know that I mentioned that it was over 20. We believe it was forwarded to even far more than that. And immediately it was picked up by the San Francisco Chronicle, which published sensitive information about the material condition of a naval warship. If he didn't think, it was my opinion, that if he didn't think that information was going to get out into the public in this information age that we live in, then he was A, too naive or too stupid to be the commanding officer of a ship like this. The alternate is that he did it on purpose. And that's a serious violation of the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
He also spoke about his meeting with Governor Leon Guerrero on the ship's local impact.
And the other thing you need to understand is we're in Guam. It's a U.S. territory, but they have their own government, and they have their own health care problems. And they're scared too, just like every other part of the world. And the governor of Guam has stuck her neck out big time with her own population to say that she is willing to open up hotel rooms all over this country, or this state, this territory, so that sailors from the USS Teddy Roosevelt can go and be safe, because she believes that you all are her brothers and sisters.
And he also addressed the crew's very public support for their ousted captain, a reference to viral video of spontaneous cheering as Crozier disembarked the ship.
I understand you love the guy. It's good that you love him, but you're not required to love him. I cannot control or attempt to change whatever anger you have with me for relieving your beloved CO. If I could offer you a glimpse of the level of hatred and pure evil that has been thrown my way, my family's way, over this decision, I would, but it doesn't matter. It's not about me. The former Vice President of the United States, Joe Biden, suggested just yesterday that my decision was criminal. I assure you it was not, because I understand the facts, and those facts show that what your captain did was very, very wrong in a moment when we expected him to be the calming force on a turbulent sea.
Joint Region Marianas Command confirmed Modly left Monday afternoon. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
However, wait for it, plot twist. In a hasty reversal today, Acting Secretary Modly issued a statement in which he apologized, both to Crozier and the Roosevelt crew, saying, quote, "We pick our carrier commanding officers with great care. Captain Crozier is smart and passionate. I believe precisely because he is not naive and stupid that he sent his alarming email with the intention of getting it into the public domain in an effort to draw public attention to the situation on his ship." His statement follows a news conference in which President Trump said he would be looking into the matter. There have also been calls from some congressional leaders to remove Modly, who has not been yet confirmed by the U.S. Senate. And the latest on the Theodore Roosevelt, 173 crew members are now confirmed positive for COVID-19. 61% of the sailors on that ship have been tested, and about 2,000 sailors have been moved ashore into military facilities and local hotels. Well, the legislature announced it will finally meet in emergency session Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Multiple bills have been introduced to address the COVID-19 crisis, which will be the first formal gathering of lawmakers since the governor's order for strict social distancing measures.
Speaker Barnes issued the much-anticipated call to session this afternoon. Her office confirmed that all senators and limited staff will operate from the Congress Hall. A number of bills have just recently been introduced, but any spending measure, says the governor, will get some added scrutiny.
My concern there is if we don't have to use our local funds and federal grants and federal monies are coming in, that would be, I think, the route that I would like to go more, so I can save the monies in our general fund so I can provide means to continue on our public services.
The governor did rattle off several assistance programs, such as SNAP, that can provide immediate relief to cash-strapped families, and stopped short of saying she would reject any local assistance funding measures. She actually asked senators to go into session several days ago, but for other reasons.
I do need, and the senators know this, more authority for the curfew situation and the checkpoint situation, and to be able to enforce my executive order directives and mandate.
Police plan to launch checkpoints at main intersections beginning Thursday through the end of the month. The announcement from GPD says they are for DWI. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
In other COVID news, a recruit from the Department of Corrections cycle is tested positive for the coronavirus. On April 3rd, the individual reported to the DOC administration that one of their family members had tested positive for COVID-19. Now, according to Prison Major Anton Uggan, the employee was sent home to self-quarantine, and today the employee's test results came back positive. Acting DOC Director Joe Carbolito has ordered all 38 recruits who may have been in contact with the individual to self-quarantine as well. Major Uggan adds the temporary absence of the recruits will not significantly impact DOC operations. DOC is also working with the Department of Public Health to take the necessary measures in protecting the inmates, detainees, staff, and public. Well, stay in your lane. That's the message to our Congressman Mike Nicholas from the Retirement Fund. Fund Board Chair Wilfred Leon Guerrero on containing COVID this morning with a hard no when asked if he thinks the congressman's proposal to have the retirement fund give GITA authority on a $10 million indenture.
Nobody consulted us about this, and my message is please don't mess around with the retirement fund. We already got a $1 billion unfunded liability from past legislation. Don't mess around with people's retirement fund. That's my whole point.
Delegate Nicholas said he had solutions to get residents locally funded assistance in a week's time, but Leon Guerrero said even if the fund agreed to it, it would be impossible to get the plan up and running in a week's time.
To a lot of the Guam retirees, this is it. This is their income, and we're going to be jeopardizing, that fund by getting into something that I don't think the fund should be involved in. Something go wrong with this thing, and then you've got a bunch of retirees and future retirees that are going to be adversely affected by this.
Official rejection of the delegates' proposal from the retirement fund has come down in the form of a letter to Speaker Tina Munia Barnes. Fund Director Paula Blas wrote, while the proposal was well-intentioned, she also closed with, quote, the fund has a fiduciary responsibility to its members and must protect the interest of its members above all else. Well, Phil Flores of Bank Pacific and the Guam Bankers Association says Congressman Mike Nicholas's plan to get banks to give out loans leveraged against upcoming federal assistance is impossible. Delegate Nicholas said he had solutions to get aid into local hands in as little as a week's time, but Flores said that it was irresponsible for the congressman to give the people false hope.
We haven't seen any plan. We only know kind of like what we're asked about in the media or what's in the media, because the delegate still hasn't talked to us. But logistically, it's impossible. And I hate for anybody to get some false hope.
Flores said he appreciated the delegate thinking outside the box, but the fact of the matter is local banks simply could not set up the infrastructure to field over 100,000 applications while still obeying COVID-19 social distancing mandates. Flores also said banks are inundated with current COVID relief plans like the Small Business Administration's Paycheck Protection Program. During a presentation of his plan, Congressman San Nicolas touted his banking background and his status as the House Financial Services Committee Vice Chair. Now we asked Flores who would have a better grip on what's feasible for our island's financial institutions.
He's a congressman now, and he's trying to do a really good job for us in Washington, D.C., but no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't know banking like the rest of us know banking, because we do it 24/7. And we're all right now. We're all very, very busy with PPP, the Payroll Protection Plan, and people coming in for deferments. We're all very, very busy, and to think we can just put everything aside to try to do something that's logistically impossible, we're not going to.
Flores said the Guam Bankers Association had a scheduled Zoom conference meeting this morning. He tells KUAM the group was scheduled to address COVID-related banking measures, but that the delegates' plan would also probably be discussed. Well, the Department of Public Health is beefing up its arsenal to battle COVID-19, with Director Linda DeNorsi saying thousands of various types of test kits are on their way.
I just received word today that another 4 boxes of the RNA extraction. This is the kit that will help us to do the testing for the coronavirus, is already on its way from FEMA. And we're just expecting that. It's already flying through at this point in time to California. And once it reaches California, it should be heading towards Guam. So it should be soon. And then the U.S. Department of the Interior also funded all the U.S. APIs, that's the Pacific Islands grant. And what happens is Guam received a total of another 460 boxes of another type of testing, which is through the Gene Expert machine. It's another type of machine that the department also has. And so that equivalates to about 4,600 more test kits for another type of machine, which is the Gene Expert.
According to DeNorsi, with the Gene Expert soon to be online along with the current ABI machine, it will increase public health's testing capabilities. Meanwhile, commercial testing with DLS went into full swing this week. However, tests have to be sent off island, and it takes about 5 to 7 days to get those results back. Well, island residents who have been displaced as a result of the COVID crisis are urged to file for public assistance and SNAP with the Department of Public Health. Island media have been repeatedly asking the governor what local assistance is available to help feed families who have lost their jobs and means of income and who can't hold on until federal assistance is provided. As we have been reporting, an estimated 15,000 people have been furloughed, laid off, or have seen a reduction in their work hours.
You know, when I was looking to see what is the fastest way to get help to these individuals before we get the unemployment program and the tax rebate, I looked at what do I have now that we can take advantage of. And those were the 2 programs right away, which is the SNAP program, the food stamp program. It's known as the food stamp program, but they've changed it now to the SNAP with the cards, and then the public assistance. And my understanding with the test is there's over 300 new eligible people that have qualified for the SNAP program. So we have 300 more people in our community that is taking advantage of that. The same with the public assistance.
For more info about the public assistance programs, you're urged to visit Public Health's website, where you'll find the applications. Well, as Guam battles its war against the coronavirus, the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration managed to find the time to pick up an employee. And it's a familiar face. Richard Ibanez is back in the public sector. The personnel action form was filed on March 19th, which is the same day the governor's executive order for mandatory social isolation went into effect. Prior to that, on March 16th, the governor announced the suspension of all non-critical GovGuam operations, and public and private schools were canceled. Ibanez was hired on as a special projects officer at the Guam Regional Transit Authority. The effective date lists his hire as March 11th. That means he was back to work in GovGuam less than 2 weeks after he resigned as Parks and Rec director, citing health reasons. You may remember before Abana stepped down, he was facing much scrutiny over public health concerns, which led to the closure of both of the island's public pools. He also faced controversy over his termination of former State Historic Preservation Officer Linda Uggan. Now, according to the personnel action, Ibanez is getting paid $61,000, $796 a year. His salary when he was DPR director was a little over $76,000. Well, the 14 private Catholic schools on island are continuing their curriculum through a distance learning program. KUAM's Adriana Cotero speaks with Catholic Education Superintendent Dr. Juan Flores for info on grading and tuition standards.
To make the most of what we're doing, I think that learning takes place in different ways.
Utilizing Google Classroom to continue classwork, Guam Catholic schools have implemented a distance learning program in order for students to complete the academic school year. Catholic Education Superintendent Dr. Juan Flores says the coursework varies amongst the independent private Catholic schools, grade levels, and educators.
For some teachers, what they did was that first week they set up time, minimizing interactions with others. Obviously, they set up times for families to come and pick up textbooks and other materials at school, so that the teachers would just send out assignments, interact with the kids, maybe do lessons, but then they'll also have their textbooks to work with.
Dr. Flores adds that it's not only the amount of time being taken into account, but teachers are focusing on the quality of work.
That they know that the students are not coming in every day. They know that the students are not sitting at a desk, for 45 or 50 minutes. For some teachers that are assigning, let's say, a video online to watch, the kids might do that 3 or 4 times, depending on what they're watching. So how the teachers assess whether or not the kids have learned something, I think it's going to be pretty different from what we've had before.
As for tuition, Dr. Flores says the administrators are prepared to work with all parents who are struggling to make ends meet and do not have the necessary means.
And I know that the principals are prepared to work with all the parents who are now, especially parents in retail or parents who've worked for the hotels or parents who are in the restaurant business, that they're not getting the salaries that they're getting. And I think I would like to encourage them to reach out to the principals. They shouldn't think of it as a shameful thing. It's a reality.
If you have any concerns or further questions, Dr. Flores encourages everyone to reach out to their school principals through email or phone call. And you can view KUAM's interview with the superintendent streaming live on our Facebook and YouTube page. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Well, stick around for more news here on Prime Time. You're watching KUAM.
Ruby Tuesday Guam is still preparing the dishes you love for either curbside carryout or delivery. Call them at 647-7828 or 647-7829 for curbside carryout service with a smile. For delivery, download the free Grab and Grub app and follow the instructions to get Ruby Tuesdays delivered to your door. Stay safe and healthy, Guam.
When we face an uncertain path, when we struggle with life's challenges, and when the unexpected happens, it's a beautiful day. We rely on the people we trust, it's a beautiful, who we can always count on. And the ones who give us the most care throughout the years. Rely on Calvo's Select Care to give you the comfort and security you need wherever you are. Calvo's Select Care, healthcare that's always there for you.
into an extra day. Receive 6% off your fuel purchase when you use your eligible Bank of Guam credit card at participating Shell locations. Terms and conditions apply. Bank of Guam, the People's Bank, member FDIC.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Welcome back. A quick update on tax refunds as the Department of Revenue and Taxation announces that 248 tax refunds have been processed and will be placed in the mail this week. The checks total over $861,000. Now, this includes refunds that have been garnished to repay government debts for error-free returns filed on or before November 2nd, 2019. Well, since the start of the pandemic, the Small Business Administration has been inundated with requests from information seekers and loss of business relief applicants for a variety of information and guidance.
This is an unprecedented event, so a lot of things, there's a lot of moving parts to this.
Sure.
We first ramped up by actually indicating that April 3rd was the first opening date for applications for the Paycheck Protection Program. And back in the mainland, just in one day, they issued out $3.7 billion, 12,000 loans, and we had about 875 banks that were participating in the program just in that one-day process.
Ken Lujan, manager of the SBA's Guam branch, says that the agency primarily addressed overwhelming demand on its server, causing inaccessible online systems for those business owners wishing to file applications, find contact information, or even just make general inquiries.
The initial website we had was an old website that we utilized for past disaster activities, and as a result of the influx of applications and concerns from the public, it overloaded our system, and so SBA quickly, within a week, shut down the system and revamped up to their capabilities to increase the capacity for the server.
SBA directs all interest in its services to sba.gov/coronavirus, as well as finding additional information about Paycheck Protection Program loans at treasury.gov. Well, according to the trajectory released by the governor's Physicians Advisory Group, if the current spread of the coronavirus is reduced by 50%, Guam could see up to 700 deaths in the next couple months. Well, those are just projections. The hard reality is that Guam will see more deaths if people continue to ignore social distancing measures. Over the weekend, the Arimathea Society of Guam began the process of helping clear unclaimed bodies out of the Guam Memorial Hospital's morgue. Father Paul Guffigan was on our Containing COVID radio show this morning.
Really behooves us as Christians to do a work of mercy for these individuals, to give them a proper burial, whether they're Christian or not. Mm-hmm. We just want to give them a proper burial. You asked about how does the COVID-19 affect us? It affects us a lot, because usually we like to offer a mass for the dead, for all of them. Mm-hmm. And we gather as a community to do an office for the dead. That's a liturgical liturgy of the hours, a prayer for them, singing psalms, and then we offer a mass for them, and then we process over to Lemteaka Cemetery.
8 bodies were buried over the weekend, including a child. 2 more bodies will be buried next week. The bodies have been unclaimed for over a month. Now, the Arimathea Society is in need of donations so that they bury these unclaimed bodies. To clear the GMH morgue, you can help out by visiting their Facebook page and donate through PayPal. Well, this is a trying time for both adults and children as coronavirus worries increase. So does the anxiety. In this week's Health Check, Nancy Chen spoke with a child therapist about how to discuss COVID-19 with your family.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center. School closures, canceled activities, and parents working from home. Each day brings changes to our daily lives as the nation sees more cases of coronavirus. Family therapist Darby Fox says when talking to children, tailor the message to the child's age. With kids under 4, discussion should be very limited. With kids 4 to 7, she says be sure to use concrete terms.
There's a virus that's kind of like the flu. Sometimes you get a sore throat or your stomach hurts, you don't feel well.
For kids 7 to 10, she says parents can stress that children don't seem to be as affected as much as older adults, but that we all still need to do our part for prevention.
And just say for a little while, we don't want to pass the germs around, so we're going We're just gonna stay at home. We're gonna do some different things and we'll be fine. Really reassuring.
Reiterating the importance of good hand washing is one way to empower children that they are helping prevent the virus from spreading.
For kids older than 10, parents can look at the science on the virus and stress that most cases are usually mild.
In general, vocabulary matters, so experts say keep death out of it.
Because we don't really know how do you prevent death, and it's so ominous. So I think that again we go back to a language of yes, you could get sick, but you know what? You've had other illnesses and you're going to be okay.
Fox says to also take time for yourself so you manage your own fears in order to be able to handle your families. Nancy Chen, CBS News, New York.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Dave Delgado, Double D, is coming up with sports. Keep it here.
As our island continues to band together to protect our families and communities from the effects of COVID-19, we at GCA want to assure you that we are here for you. Should you need to contact us for any reason, you can chat with us online at www.gta.net, connect with us on Facebook, or call us at 644-4482. Families are at the heart of what we do, and we are committed to keep you and yours safe, healthy, and connected. GCA, we start with you.
We are open to serve you at Cars Plus Guam. Need a quick service for your vehicle? Visit our express lane at Cars Plus. Done fast, done right. No appointment needed. Our service team is dedicated to helping you get your vehicle in and out of the shop and back on the road quickly and securely. Simply drop off your vehicle at our express lane driveway, and one of our service advisors will take care of it. Need a ride? Not to worry. We have a shuttle vehicle ready to drop you back home and pick you up when your vehicle is ready. Open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit us today. We are open to serve you.
Right now, there's a lot of unknowns out there. But the one thing that is clear is the importance of your safety, both physically and financially. At First Hawaiian Bank, we are doing everything we can to make things as normal as possible. We've also developed ways to relieve some of the financial challenges you may be facing. We understand it's an uncertain time, but when we stick together, yes, we can get through this. Learn more at fhb.com/relief.
Inspiration can come from anywhere, even from the new Triple Lupa from Taco Bell. It's 3 mini chalupas with 3 different flavors.
The new Triple Lupa from Taco Bell. The chalupa deliciously reinvented.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. Tonight on the show, we're going to hear from Olympic hopeful Ethan Agagi. He's a coach at Virginia Tech. The team was getting ready for a big national championship, but that was called off. We'll also hear from ISA League Director Al Garrido on the cancellation of the ISA Sports League. Check it out.
We were just getting ready to go to nationals in Minnesota. Had a couple guys who had a great shot at the running. We were looking real forward to it, but unfortunately with the development of COVID-19, that was obviously shut down. So there was a little bit of dealing with it after. We had some guys who were emotional. They invested a whole year, years of training leading up to that one moment, and just have that taken away, it hit kind of hard.
Ethan represented Guam at the 2019 United World Wrestling World Championships in Kazakhstan. Ethan also represented the island at the United World Wrestling Oceania Championships held last year at Leo Palace.
Obviously, the whole situation, every certain country, certain places are all on lockdown, quarantine. So it makes it a little tougher to get back to a regimen, a routine that you've been so used to training. But it pushes you to get creative. It really forces you to see how much you want it, whether you're motivated or whether you're just going to lay down and let your dream pass you up.
Agagi is staying active in his makeshift home gym. He's one of Guam's Olympic hopefuls trying to get a spot at competing in the 2021 Olympic Games. With the Games postponed until next year, Ethan is focused on staying in shape and ready to go. He says stay true to what your goal is and what your dream is.
I'm outside running, getting my cardio up, keeping my weight down, maintaining my weight. Picked up some sandbags, doing a little cross training with punching bags, speed bags, just being creative, seeing what I can do to get me a little bit better every day, keeping me on that straight path of my goal for Tokyo next year, whatever's next, that next Olympic qualifier. And as much as a heartbreaker as this is, it is important to keep in mind, everyone's safety, everyone's public health.
In consultation with the Superintendent of Education, the GDOE Interscholastic Sports Association Board of Control made the difficult decision to cancel fourth quarter sports for school year 2019-2020. All GDOE middle school sports will also be canceled for the remainder of the school year. KUAM Sports caught up with ISA League Director Al Garrido, who says the decision was one of the toughest he's had to make while on the job.
It was really tough knowing that we're about to make this decision, and I knew that there were possibly hundreds of seniors out there who were hoping that decision wasn't going to be made. But our highest priority was to make sure that them and their families were safe. And all the ADs, as tough as it was, I called, I spoke to each one of them individually, and they all came to that kind of tough decision of saying, yes, we need to go ahead and cancel fourth quarter sports. Then that doesn't mean summer sports, but cancel fourth quarter sports as it is, and then start relaying the information out to our kids. It was one of the toughest things I had to do in this job, knowing that.
In national news, Tom Brady, J.J. Watt, and Adrian Peterson were among 8 unanimous selections to the NFL All-Decade Team of the 2010s, announced Monday by the NFL and the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The 55-member team comprises only players who made an AP All-Pro team, a Pro Bowl, or a Pro Football Writers of America All-Conference squad. From 2010 to 2019, Brady earned 3 of his 6 Super Bowl victories during the decade, with New England going 141-42 overall, and recently left the Patriots as a free agent for Tampa Bay. One of his new teammates, kicker Matt Gay, is looking forward to working with the future Hall of Fame QB.
An amazing opportunity to learn from a guy like that, understand his mentality, his work ethic, the way he goes about his business. So I can kind of learn from him, learn from his success. Yes, we're 2 different positions, but the mentality and the work ethic is something that can be taken in by anybody. And so I was just super excited to be able to be in the same locker room and just kind of learn from what I can from the GOAT, and just be able to obviously pick up everything from him, and it's going to be a great opportunity.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
My family is on whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume.
Since we installed the Docomo whole home Wi-Fi, what did you guys notice about it?
When you pull up the driveway, it automatically connects, and I don't have to get out of my car right away and come upstairs to go on my phone.
My favorite thing is that it doesn't buffer when I'm watching YouTube.
My favorite thing is that when Addie calls now, there's no lag. Like before, it used to be where I couldn't see her sometimes and I have to hang up and then call her back, and now I don't have to do that.
You know what's a good thing too is that when you come over to visit, I could give you your own password. I can assign a time limit so that I can say that you can only be on it for 1 hour, so that means you won't get in trouble from your mom.
And then you can go home.
The thing that I love the most is that I can freeze the internet for periods of time so that we can enjoy dinner time like this. Why are you rolling your eyes?
So I'll turn it back on after dinner.
Whole home Wi-Fi powered by Plume. Docomo Pacific, better together.
Try double filet sandwich for double the flavor. Just in time for Lent for a limited time. Served all day.
And before we close out the news tonight, you know the deal. It's our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
We are proud, pleased, and honored to say happy birthday to our April 7th birthday celebrants, led off tonight in the first position by Haven John Cruz. Happy birthday to you from your family. Also, happy birthday to Lisa Castro Larimer. Happy birthday, Beauty Luff Luff. Many blessings from your Castro and the Larimer families. Nicole Justine Espano, who currently resides in Washington State. Happy 21st birthday, Kiki. We love you and miss you plenty from your Guam familia. And happy birthday to Amelia and Zoe. It is their second birthdays, and to Team KUAM's biggest fans, our Twinkles. Hey, we like that. Thank you, Amelia and Zoe. They also send the birthday cake emoji with all the candles lit, so that's extra special. Plenty of virtual hugs and love from your family and your friends at KUAM. We hope each and every one of you have a fantastic birthday on this April 7th.
Remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. Well, that's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Thanks for watching. Good night and stay home.
Good morning, Chris.
We wanted to start out with the results last night. There were only 13 tests that were